If you're seeing this video now, it means something inside of you is changing. Maybe you woke up feeling empty again. Maybe you find yourself fantasizing about a simpler life, away from the soul-sucking job, the expectations, the people who drain you. Or you're grinding through each day on autopilot, wondering if this is just your life now, again and again, until death. Here's the truth. You're not broken. What feels like collapse is often the psyche's way of saying a chapter has ended and something truer wants to begin. This video will show you the meaning of this liminal space, what's actually happening beneath the surface, and how limbo becomes the portal to your dream life. What you discover today may just be the final piece for things to click. And then, what you become after that is a story for only you to write. Let's start from the beginning. Here's one reason you may feel lost or stuck. Your old personality is burning out because it no longer serves you. You might recognize the signs of this burnout. Bone-deep exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. Rising irritability over small things. Isolation that feels safer than showing yourself or trying new things. Maybe you're escaping into screens or substance abuse, or your work quality is quietly declining because it no longer has meaning. These aren't random. They're messages from your psyche and soul. It's telling you that the mask you've worn, the role society needed you to play, has become too heavy. Carl Jung called it the persona, useful in public, sure, but useless in private. When you mistake that mask for yourself, life flattens into a monotonous 2D drawing. You say the right things to appease people, to keep your soul-crushing job, to do what society demands of you. Right? All at the cost of what you actually want in life. That isn't failure on your part. You've been taught to exist in a society with real expectations. But when your life is no longer yours, you begin to question everything. And thus, videos like this come to you as a synchronicity. The result of this is burnout. With a capital B, it signals that the current cycle has ended and a new one needs to begin. Our culture treats stopping as weakness, but pausing is often the bravest move toward a life you can actually inhabit. The emptiness you feel isn't proof you're lost. It's proof something authentic is trying to surface. There's another truth most people never talk about. That emptiness and lack of meaning you feel has a name, the existential vacuum. You might feel anxious in the quiet, like there's a pressure inside you that won't release. Viktor Frankl described this as the inner emptiness that grows when instinct no longer dictates and tradition no longer guides. When you're left asking, what's the point of all this? And getting only silence back. But here's what matters. That vacuum isn't evidence you're hopeless. It's the pressure difference that forms when your life's next meaning is calling, and you haven't answered yet. Your psyche does best when pulled towards something worthy, not lulled by comfort. Modern life sells you the lie that peace means zero tension, constant positivity, striving for numbers and money. That breeds emptiness faster than anything. People drift into conformity, doing what others do, or submission, doing what others demand them to do. Neither path feels like yours because neither is. Ask yourself, my friend, what do you want? Not what you think is correct, or what the external world tells you to want. What do you really want? You're not lazy or ungrateful. You're in the gap between an old why that died and a new one that hasn't landed yet. That gap is uncomfortable, but it's also sacred. It's where real choices are found. You're stuck on a bridge between the old life and a new one. Which will you walk towards? And this next part might sting, but it matters. Your inner life is screaming at you because you've ignored things for too long. Maybe you've noticed extreme feelings, sudden moments or dreams that feel charged, a sense that something in you wants a voice. Jung called this compensation, the unconscious pushing back to restore balance. The more narrow your conscious life becomes, the more forcefully the deeper parts of you intervene. This isn't random. It's how the self, the larger organizing center of your psyche, asks you to grow beyond the role you've been performing. You'll feel it as archetypal themes in dreams, intense moods, or symbolic material rising when life thins out. Your psyche uses images to say, "Go here." You're not going crazy. You're being invited inward so you can come back out as someone more whole, part of what Jung called individuation. Unfortunately, so many things in this modern world are dividing your attention that it becomes difficult to hear your own inner voice. As a result, this cuts you off from your intuition and true values. Only what is truly yourself has the power to make positive change in your life. Otherwise, you end up living someone else's life. You're not starting from zero. The unconscious self within you is already active, nudging you toward wholeness. Your job is to orient yourself toward that inner space and listen to it. As an extra bonus, here are 3 practical steps to help you start taking action towards a more aligned life. Again, start small. You can try all 3 or pick one to try for now. First, name one thing that feels hollow, empty, or past its prime in your current life. Not to shame yourself, but to locate where one cycle needs to end for something new to start. Write it down. Understand it. Accept it. Second, find a calm place away from everything and ask yourself 2 questions. What do I want in my life? And what do I not want in my life? These are simple questions, but the goal is not to find an immediate answer. The goal is to listen to yourself. See what comes up. Write down what you discover. Third, commit to one small act of change this week. A conversation where you show up fully. A creative risk. The research for a move, job change, or a new business. Just one. Let that be enough for now. Lastly, let yourself rest. You can't fight biology. You are human. You deserve rest. But only if you allow yourself to have it. You don't need to fix everything at once. All you need to do is take the first step. The psyche steadies when it has direction, even if that direction is just one step. In the end, this is your story to write, and we often forget how quickly the last page approaches. You found this video because something in you is done with an old way of living. The emptiness isn't punishment, it's preparation. The limbo you're in is not evidence you're lost, it's evidence you're becoming something different. What feels like the end of the world is often the beginning of a truer one. And you're not too late. The world is changing, consciousness is changing, and there's no better time than now to make a profound change in the direction of your life. Thus, I leave you with this parting question. What path will you choose? Thank you for joining me into this exploration of your upcoming breakthrough and life change. If this resonated, please share what you are tired of and ready to change in the comments below, and subscribe for weekly psychology insights designed to meet you exactly where you are. Until next time.